Good morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but other crafts as well, and sometimes a little bit of my life thrown in just to make things interesting. Today is Sunday, December 22nd, so this is my second to last regular FlossTube before the end of the year, before we hit 2020. Amazing, isn't it? And this is my 25th FlossTube. Today is, as I said, Sunday. Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. I am excited to be lighting the first candle on my menorah, actually 2 menorahs. Let's see, Wednesday is Christmas. Tuesday is Christmas Eve for those of you who celebrate that. I'm going to be celebrating Hanukkah with my family on Wednesday just because everybody has a day off, so it's a good day for us all to get together. So I will be celebrating along with you guys on Christmas Day, although we will be eating latkes and lighting candles, but we're still exchanging presents. And then I am making stuffed cabbage to bring, a very sort of traditional Russian Jewish dish, which I love and my family loves, so that's going to be my contribution to the Hanukkah dinner. But I'm sure we're also going to have latkes and probably jelly donuts, sufganiyot. For those of you who don't know, it's a tradition. Part of Hanukkah tradition is just to eat fried food. So that's where the latkes come in, and jelly donut type things. Because they're fried in oil, and Hanukkah, as you may know, is kind of a celebration of the miracle of a vial of oil lasting 8 days instead of the 1 day that it normally would. It lasted the 8 days it took to make more oil after the destruction of the temple. And there was only 1 vial of oil left to light the perpetual light. So anyway, that's the festival of Hanukkah. And we will be celebrating in the middle of the week. So I'm very excited for that to be happening. I'm excited for everybody to get the presents that I got and made, and I hope at the same time that everybody is having a very happy, whatever you celebrate, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah or just the fact that Wednesday's a day off for most people. I hope that you have a great week. So what did I do with my glasses? There they are. Let us get started. I don't have actually a lot of like whips and stuff to show you this week because I woke up last Monday. I went to work as normal, and during the day I started to get this really kind of like tight, stiff neck. I'm surprised I didn't wake up with it, but I didn't. It just sort of started coming on during the course of the day. And by Tuesday was awful. I couldn't even get out of bed, so I called in sick and slept most of the day. And then Wednesday I went back to work, but it was hurting all day. Thursday it was still hurting. Friday it was better, but it moved to the other side. It was crazy. And then yesterday it was starting to feel better, but I really took it easy all day. So today's kind of the first day that I can turn my neck more freely, although I still feel it. So yeah, so it's kind of been I haven't felt good all week, which means that I didn't get a lot done as far as my crafting. I didn't get anything done as far as cleaning my apartment, so it's a huge pigsty, and I don't really feel like cleaning it today, so it may stay that way. But you know, that's how it is. But I still have stuff to show you, so I will show you what I have. So last week, after I finished doing my video on Sunday, I actually did 2 videos Sunday, so hopefully you guys were able to see the second one where I made, that was over here, excuse me, my little pillow. So I do have that to show as a full finish. This is my Tikkun Olam design. This is my first cross-stitch design that I did, and then I made it into a little pillow, which I did do a whole video on how I put this pillow together, so take a look at that if you're interested. When I finished doing it, I kind of ran out of I used crushed walnut shells and lavender in this, and so kind of twofold, I used more lavender than I had done in the pillow I made for my mom, or for my mom's gift to give to somebody else. And the lavender compacts more over time than like the crushed walnut shells. And I was running out of the crushed walnut shells, so I don't think that I filled it quite as full as I would like. So I think I'm gonna have to take it apart just a tiny little bit, like just on the end, so that I can fill a little bit more in here, because I want it to be really tight and not as wiggly. You know, it's a little bit, it needs more. But I really like how that came out. And I did offer in my last video when I showed this finish that I would like to give away the pattern to anybody that would like it. Tikkun Olam, as I explained, is the concept of repairing the world. And I had 3 people who had asked me on that video, but if there's anybody else, then please let me know. 2 people I actually put it in the mail, and then the 3rd person who requested it was requesting it, and they lived in Australia, and I wasn't going to have time to go to the post office and get an international stamp. And then I thought, well, that's silly, I can just email it to them. So I emailed her the pattern, a PDF version of the pattern, and she said she got it, it looked fine. So I would be happy to send that to anybody who would like it. It would be really great if people stitched this up and, you know, show it on Instagram, tag me, so that I know that my little chart made it out into the world. Anyway, so that is one of my finishes for last week. I had 2 more full finishes, or fully finished objects, that I completed. So these were things that you've already seen the stitching, but you haven't seen it fully finished. So I did my January Year of Celebrations. So that is ready to go next week to replace the December. And I love this color green. It just, that color green really kind of makes me happy. And then I finished, and what did I do with it? Oh, it's over here. Excuse me. So you guys know I've been working on this present for my brother for months. And so this is the In This House wall hanging that I finished. And so what I did was I did it as a wall hanging. This is the backing fabric. It's like a Harry Potter black with like gold Harry Potter symbols. So I stitched it together, turned it right sides out, and then I did this edging. I haven't done anything with my sewing machine except do regular sewing, so I thought I would use one of the patterned stitches. And it's not, oh gosh, when I hold it up I can see how crooked it is, so don't look at it that closely. I'm still learning, you guys. And then I just sewed D-rings on the back as hangers, and then I did kind of a beaded fringe at the bottom, just to add a little bit extra to it, and also to give it a little bit of weight so it would hang nice. But I think it came out really pretty. I'm really happy with it. I hope my brother likes it. I think he will. And I did sign it. I always forget to do that, but then on the bigger projects I remember, so yeah, so that is my big finish for this year. And I was able to show it to you guys before I pack it up in its gift bag, because it's going with me on Wednesday. So those were my full finishes for the week. I'm really happy with this pillow. I love this finish. I mean, I think I'm going to be doing this a lot. I know I'm doing another one for my mom because she just finished a piece that she was making for somebody for the holidays, and she knows that she's not going to get it in time. She's not going to get it back, but she just finished the piece. I think she showed the stitching to her physical therapist who she's giving it to. So she showed her the stitching, and she said that it's going to come to me, and then she'll get it back when it's done. But yeah, I love making these little pillows, and this little pom-pom trim. I know it's kind of trendy right now, so that might not be the popular thing in 5 or 10 years, but for right now, I just really like how that looks, so I'm really happy with that. Okay, so that was my fully finished objects. I don't have anything that's finished this week. As I said, I didn't work on that much. I just had a few whips that I worked on, and not even a lot, but I'll show them to you because that's what we're here for, right? So I worked a little bit on my spring fling, which is with my needle and thread, Brenda Gervais. And I'm doing this on a 25 count even weave, Lugana, I think. And I filled in some more, oops, let me get the needle minder out of the way. I filled in some more of the leaf, and so I really like working on this one. It's kind of relaxing, probably because the stitches are, I don't know, bigger stitches, I don't know, but it stitches really easily, and it's kind of fun to do. So I like this one to work on. So I did that, you know, for one evening for probably about an hour or so. I worked on my year celebrations, my February. So I got quite a bit done on this since you've seen it last. I got all the red outline finished. This little blue, which kind of turns into a postage stamp that says love. And I did this blue line down here. All this red. So that's probably the one I worked on the most. And then last night I did just a couple lengths of thread on this one. It's going to say, "This mom runs on cuddles and caffeine." So the pattern was actually this home. I'm changing it to this mom, and this is going to be for my sister-in-law. I guess for her birthday, probably in like March, April. I started it thinking, oh, you know, it'd be a great thing to do for Hanukkah, but I started it like, you know, the end of last month. I mean, even I think if I worked on it, that was the only thing I worked on, I still don't think I would get it done. Because it's deceptively a lot of stitches. But I have another gift to give her for Hanukkah. So even though the wall hanging is kind of for my brother's whole family, I'm just giving it to him as his gift, and then everybody else is a different gift. So, but I'll be able to give this to her either for her birthday or for no reason. But I think she'll really like that. She's a big coffee drinker, and she is a homeschool mom of 3 kids. Plus, she works full-time for the homeschool organization. She's the person who registers all of the thousands and thousands and thousands of kids that they have in California. She was telling me a little bit about the organization, and it's actually really cool. They have all of the, like the acting kids, like all the professional kids use this organization. So they have a lot of like professional athletes, like Olympic hopeful skaters and gymnasts and stuff like that. And they have actor children. There's, I don't know what show on Nickelodeon, but there's some show where there's 3 star kids, and all of those kids are homeschooled in their organization. And she also has the children of a famous actor who, you know, she does all the registration. So she said it was funny because she's never talked to the famous actor. She's only been able to talk to his assistant and his agent and stuff. And she couldn't, it was a big process because they have to have, you know, home address for the registration, and they didn't want to give her his home address. So she's like, you know, so she had to like get it, delete it, you know, it's funny because of just the whole Hollywood thing. But yeah, she works really hard. And so I thought that just epitomizes her life, because she's very, very snuggly with her kids and drinks a lot of coffee and is always go, go, go. But anyway, so that's not going to be done for Hanukkah. It's going to be for later in the year. So yeah, so that's not very exciting as far as like actual work on projects. I did a lot of kitting up and stuff this past week, which I'll show you as I get kind of into plans. As far as like haul, I bought some like regular supply type things. This past week I got some more of these, I don't know what they're the wrapped wire rings, you know, that you can use to hold floss. I like these. I do like them better than like the regular hooky ones, because those come apart. So I found I do like these, and when I first got them, I got like a pack of 10 to try them out, and I really liked them. And I was running, I actually had a couple left, but as I was kitting stuff up, I realized that I didn't want to get down not having any and feeling like I had to be sparing, so I got myself another pack of those. I got myself a pack of, oh, this is going to be crinkly, sorry, of mesh bags, project bag type things, because although I am making fabric project bags, I'm kitting up stuff and I have plans coming up, and I'm not making the project bags that fast. So I again didn't want to run out of a supply type thing. And plus I gave a couple to my mom because I'd given her the mesh ones at first. It's funny, when I first started doing cross stitch, which wasn't that long ago, I mean, it's less than a year. I started again in March, April, when I really kind of fell down the rabbit hole. I got bags, and I got these, but I also got the mesh ones that, you know, kind of like rainbow stripes, and I thought I would love those mesh ones. When it turns out that this is the kind that I really like, because these are a lot sturdier, and yeah, these were the ones I ended up really liking. But when my mom started doing stuff, I gave her a bunch of the mesh ones that I wasn't using, and they ripped, which is part of the reason why I didn't like them. So she needed a new one, so I gave her some of the good ones. And yeah, so I was running low. I use them for everything. I use them for basically storing all my patterns. I have two big ones that have my patterns in them, and I have like patterns over here. This is either patterns that I have completed, so, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep them or give them away, you know, pass the stash. And I also have patterns in here that I am still working on, like Froth and Bubble. So I have like a working copy in with my project, but this is the original. And so I have that, and I have Michael End in Place, and oh, here's the one that I just finished. Now this is a PDF pattern, so I can't pass it on. So it's going to either be get rid of it or keep it. I haven't decided on that yet. And also, oh, my year of celebrations is in here. So in my working bag, I have just a copy of the month that I'm working on at the time, and my other ones are back here. But the original pattern is in here. So I think that's probably something that when I finish the year, I'll be able to pass it on. I don't always make a working copy. It kind of depends on partly if it's something that I think I'm going to pass on or not. Like my Hilde that I'm going to be working on starting in January. I decided not to make a working copy. I did it first because I was going to blow it up. but it's a pain. And then the way I have to piece it together, and I figured, you know what, I can see the smaller size. When I bought that one, I bought this, well, I'm talking about it. It's the Village Bookstore. And I bought this from 123 Stitch. I didn't buy it from Heaven and Earth Designs, so I didn't have a choice as to what size it was. It's just the regular. The Heaven and Earth Design patterns that I've gotten since then, I have ordered the larger size, which is like $1 more, but it's just a little bit easier to see. So this one I didn't have a choice, and when I got it, I thought, oh gosh, it's really tiny. But it's not that tiny. I can see it. And I don't think that I'm gonna go, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and use this. I don't think I'm gonna make a working copy, because it's not something that you're gonna use more than once. I just think I'm gonna just use it and highlight it, and you know, if there's a problem or something happens to it, I can always buy the pattern again. They're not that expensive. So yeah. I'm starting this in a week, you guys. I think I'm gonna do a video. Probably, maybe it'll go up on like New Year's Eve day, or maybe next weekend, kitting up the entire thing. So in other words, from choosing the pattern, what I do with the pattern, and the fabric, and then why I chose the fabric I chose, and then how I kit up my threads. And so I think I'm going to do a little video just on the Heaven and Earth itself. Oh, the other supply that I got, as I said, I was running out of the crushed walnut shells, so I went ahead and I bought the big bag. And as I talked about before, if you buy the crushed walnut shells for pin keep, you know, that say they're 4 pin cushions, they're like way more expensive. Way more expensive. This was like, this huge bag was like $6 or $7. And I think I paid $10 for 2 little bags. Maybe even more than that. It may have been up to 20, I don't remember. The only difference I can see at this point, this seems a little bit finer of a crush. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. I mean, yeah, I think it's gonna, you know, it still has the weight, it still has the texture. This is 100% walnut shells. There's nothing else in it. Ground English walnut shells, which is what the other one said too. So I'll be able to use this and then the lavender buds. I also have dried rose that I've used to mix in, you know, to make a rose scented pillow instead of the lavender. But yeah, so I'll let you know after I use it if there was any problems with it. But aside from the bag being a little bit big and unwieldy, yeah, it doesn't make sense to buy it for pin cushions if you can get this reptile desert blend, and it's basically the same thing. There's only one ingredient, right? It's the crushed walnut shells, and it's like way cheaper. So, okay, so plans that I have coming up. So I already told you about doing the video on kitting up the Hade. I'm very excited to start that. And that, for anybody who would like to start a Hade at the beginning of the year and kind of hashtag it and then post on Instagram and stuff along with me and Nicole from Darvana Lee Design Studios, we're using the hashtag new Hade 2020 Sal. So that will be that Hade. In addition, you can, if your Hade has cats in it, then you can also tag it with the hashtag Love Hade Cat Sal, which I started with a Instagram friend, and that hasn't, I've posted there, but you know, I only did like one post since we started it, but you know, that's gonna grow because all of my Hades are cat Hades, so whenever I work on one, I'm gonna try and take pictures and post it to there as well. I am going to be doing a whip parade which I may be filming today. I may be filming it on Tuesday if I get off work early, but I might film it today, and but I'll post it on Tuesday. And so I'm going to be doing a whip parade. I don't have that many whips. I think I have about 15. So mixed in with that, I'm also going to be doing kind of like a master FlossTube shout out of, you know, the channels that I'm really enjoying watching. And just to let you guys know, because I started out doing shout outs all the time, and then I kind of stopped doing that. Part of one of the reasons that I stopped doing that was kind of because I would shout somebody out, and then they would stop making videos. So, you know, it's like I would get excited about somebody because I watched the 2 videos that they did, and then that was, you know, they haven't made a video in 3 months. And so, yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go through and tell you all the people that I watch on a regular basis. And in addition, I'm also going to do like a shout out thank you to all of the non-FlossTube people who don't have channels but who have been really supportive and send me messages all the time and follow me on FlossTube and Instagram. I want to like just give a shout out to those people. So I'm going to try that. Now, if I miss a name or something, or if I don't say, I'm sorry. It's not, you know, it's going to be an oversight. It's not going to be a, ooh, I'm leaving you out on purpose. But I'm going to try not to do that. So that is going to happen this week, that whip parade. So I'm excited to do that, my very first whip parade. I don't think that's something that I would want to do all the time, but I think it's a good way to kind of cap off the year. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do this year, and probably next year, and years going forward. And let's see what else is in store. Okay, so in January, I have planned several starts, and since we're so close, so one of the things I'm going to be doing in January is I'm going to be starting my Star Trek pillow that I'm going to make for my brother. Yeah, so I was working on a project for my brother for like the last 4 or 5 months, and now I don't have one going for him, and it feels weird, so I'm going to start another one. I don't know when I'm going to get this done. I kind of have a goal of getting it done for his birthday in July, but if I don't, then it will be for Hanukkah next year. But we'll see, you know. I mean, I'm not kind of like a non-pressure stitcher, so you know, I like stitching things for other people as well as for myself. I kind of have a mixture going. Hey, Baggy. Oh, really? You want to say hi? Come here. Come here. Here's the fatty. Here's the fatty catty. Say hi. He's like, I don't want to say hi. Okay. Anyway, he's walking around. He doesn't usually do that during my videos, but if he knocks into the tripod, you'll know what that is. It's not an earthquake. It's a Bagheera. Anyway, back to Star Trek. So I bought, this is actually 4 patterns. So it's the 4 Star Trek casts, I guess, or, you know, I have the original, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. And they're all in this style. And I'm going to do them like one under the other. So I'm going to put Star Trek at the top instead of under here. And then under this, I'm going to say the original series. And then, oops, here's the Next Generation. Oops. Next Generation. So that's going to go underneath. And it's not going to say Star Trek. It's just going to say Next Generation. And then I have Deep Space Nine and Voyager as well. And I'm going to be putting that on a piece of Under the Sea fabrics. This is called Looking Glass. And it's got an opal, like an opal-y sparkle to it. I don't know if you can see that. Here, let me fold it so you're not getting light through it. So I think it's going to look pretty on that. so I am anxious to start that. So that's going to be started sometime in January. So that's 2 starts in January because I'm going to have my Hilde at midnight on New Year's Eve. I have this Star Trek, it's going to be a pillow, but Star Trek project from my brother. What else? Oh, I am going to be participating in a sal with, let's see, I know Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher, is going to do it. Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett, and Stitching with the Sisterlies, Colleen and Cheryl. They kind of have started a sal, and I had, Erin had shown this pattern on her video a couple videos ago, and I've had this pattern, you know, for a little bit of time, and so I messaged her and I was like, hey, we should sell that. And she's like, oh, I'm already, you know, I already talked to Stitching with the Sisterlies and Michelle, and we're gonna sell it. And the hashtag is SWTS suffrage. So Stitching with the Sisterly suffrage. So that's gonna be in January. So the goal is to start it in January and then finish it by November 1st. So I'm excited about that one. So I kitted that up this week with colors. It is charted with Classic Colorworks, but I changed everything to Needle Necessities and Gas because that's what I have. And I also, so here's the pattern without the glare. So I was debating about the fabric. You know, I am not a big neutral fabric person. But I have this piece of Under the Sea fabrics in my stash. And I'm not buying a lot of fabric from like fabric dyers now because I can dye my own. I, you know, taught myself how. But I still have, like, I had 8 pieces I think I bought of Under the Sea fabrics when she had her last sale. And if she has another sale, I might be tempted to get them again just because I really love her fabrics. But anyway, so I had this piece. It's called Mermaid Sea. And I know it is kind of a weird choice, but I think it's going to look really good because I think the white dress is going to really pop on it. And the only problem might be like this blue line, but I feel like I can change that blue line to the red color. And the blue stars right here, if they don't show up well, then I have a couple Needle Necessities variegated flosses. This one's red, white, and blue, and this one's just the blue and the red. And so I was thinking that I could do the stars in one of these, and that might look good. So yeah. So I'm kind of excited about this one. So this is the Suffrage Act, so that's going to be sold in January as well. And then let's see, what else do I have planned to start in January? I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start the Tree of Butterflies, the Alexandra Adelaide pattern, on January 20th for it's Kibushvat, which is sort of like the Israeli Arbor Day. And so I think I'm going to start that tree pattern then. And it may get worked on just a couple days and then put aside. Oops. I know Erin and then Jen, Stitching the Bluegrass, they're going to be doing Anna Forest Grew on Arbor Day, which is in April. So I might go ahead and stitch my Tree of Butterflies with them then. I mean, it won't be the same style. I mean, it won't be the same pattern, obviously, but, you know, they probably wouldn't mind if I jumped in on their style a little bit with my tree. Yeah, so that is the January sales and plans. I'm also still, the Long Dog Sal is still going on with my Froth and Bubble, so that is going to make an appearance. That's not going to be set aside for too long because I like it. I work on it in spurts, and then, you know, so I work on it a lot for a couple weeks, and then I set it aside for a couple weeks. But that one's an important one to me, so that one's going to come out. And then in February, I will be doing Gathering Honey. And I think I started, oops, sorry. I started kitting that one up. Yeah. I pulled out the flosses for it. This is, and I just totally moved you guys, sorry. Okay. This is going to be done in February. This is my my Be My Own Valentine Sal. This is from the Blue Flower. It's called Gathering Honey. And I kitted this up again with mostly Gentle Arts and Needle Necessities. So I am making a couple changes to colors. I am going to do the Beekeeper's Hair purple. It says, you know. And I am going to be doing this on a piece of Hardanger that I dyed a really bright yellow. I haven't pulled that yet. It's still in my fabric box, but that's what's going to go in here. And this is going to start in February. So anybody that would like to join in with me on this Sal, it's basically anything that has to do with bees, and, you know, kind of loving yourself. So if you think it fits in that category, then please join me. This has a special meaning to me as far as just kind of coming into my own after my divorce and, you know, learning to love myself without somebody else there. So, yeah, so this is going to be February. But I do want to, you know, keep telling you about it now in case you need time to get a pattern or whatever. I really love this pattern, so if you want to do Gathering Honey as well, then I encourage that. But if you don't have this, or you don't like it, or you just want to do something else, you know, Blue Flower actually has a couple bee patterns. They have Sleeping Bee and the Quilting Bee. So any bee pattern is perfectly fine with me to join in on the Sal. So I hope to have a lot of people joining me in on that, joining me on that. So, yeah, I think that's like what, 5 or 6 Sals and hashtags to keep in mind for me to tag below. And yeah, I hope that you guys join in on all of these things. It's so fun to do projects, and you know, even when you're not stitching with people right there, just to be able to know that other people are stitching the same thing as you, and that you can, you know, you see their project progress on Instagram. Like, you know, in the Log Dog Sal, whenever I see Karla roll the deck stitcher, because she's doing that same project, she's like way ahead of me. But every time I see her post, it's like, oh God, you know, and it's like a goal for me to, you know, get up to where she is with it. And, you know, it just makes me more in love with my project every time I see her project. So, you know, it's fun. It's fun to be a part of this community and to stitch together. So, anyway, I think that's it for today. I hope you guys are having a really, you know, nice holiday season, that you're not too crazy with having to buy gifts, and it can be really stressful this time of year. I understand that, and I don't ever really want to go anywhere because the parking's always awful, and traffic, and, you know, there's all those like stupid annoying things that come along with this really nice time of year. But you know, try and stay focused on people being kind to each other and enjoying their friends and family, and, you know, all of the good things. Drink some eggnog, spike it a little bit, if that is your pleasure. And I hope you guys are all having a really happy time. So for those of you that celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, happy first night tonight. And for those that are celebrating Christmas, I will be seeing you through my whip parade on Christmas Eve. And for those of you who don't celebrate anything, but, you know, are just in this stitching community, then have a happy Sunday and a happy Tuesday. And, you know, I'm thinking of you guys. And I want to thank you. Thank you all for coming and watching me. And thank you for sending me messages. And it's just, it's so nice to have made so many friends in this FlossTube and stitching community. It's really been a really wonderful part of my year this year, and I'm so glad that I started it. Anyway, so there's, you know, a couple more videos coming before the end of the year, and I look forward to doing those. I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback on them. So in the meantime, please remember to always be content, be kind, and be crafty. My name is Karla. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great week.